Okay. Hello, hello. Hello, how you doing? Have I played the Opus Magnum Alpha build? No, I have not. What's it like? Which record am I gonna work on? Oh, this music is too loud. I never play with music. Put it way down. That's better. How's it looking, wifey? Let's see. I wonder if I can recreate the optimization for this. Attaching arms to other arms is absolutely insane. Like, that opens up a whole crazy amount of possibility. New. Yeah, a lot of people... I feel like I'm apparently single-handedly responsible for a huge resurgence in this game's popularity, which is amazing because I love this game and I want it to make as much money as possible. So this is my record here, and a user, I think it was Brother Mojo, found an optimization that was moving this calcifier over here. So let's see what that actually does. First of all, let's copy it and rename it to Let's Try. Alright, so what do we get by moving it here? Okay, it calcifies for free. Okay, so we don't get that though. Okay, so we have to change things a little bit. So this is now going to swing back. And then pivot. And then go back. And then switch these around. Alright, so it's almost exactly the same. But, what is that? Save an area? Alright, 44 area. Let's do something funny. Put the Critelli right up here. be this. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so 44 area does that. Oh, no, it's not going to work because I got to undo it anyway. Let's see what it was at the beginning. And it was 45. Alright. So it does save one area. That's fun. Redo, put it back. See, it's little stuff like this that just... it's hard to iterate every single option. And that's where the community comes in. Like, you kind of need a million eyeballs to see where's the best place. Because I was experimenting. I had 2 calcifiers. I had this. Like, there's so many little permutations that you can try. And it kind of becomes a matter of time. Now, is this record beatable? Now, one thing I think I've tried before, but let me try it again now, is instead of the tri-arm, which costs 30G, can we do a bonder like this instead? This is going to save money, but probably slow it down, because this is going to have to go the long way up. Or will it? Let's see what it has to do. So for this, it's the same. But for this, it's not going to work because it's not bonded. So we need a solution there. But I can just go around again. But it's going to slow everything down. So I'm going to drag the whole thing over and do 4 here instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, already I know this isn't going to work because 2 additional latency or 2 additional extensions of the period means it's going to be 12 extra cycles because 6 products and I'm adding 2 blank spaces per product, so that's going to be about 12 cycles. So this is going to be not as good a solution. Oh, and I'm going to have to add 4 in fact, so that's 24 cycles. Let's see if I'm right. I guess I'll let it play. What am I doing? Speeding through things? What am I in a hurry? How's the audio? Should I boost anything? Alright, so cycles is 152. And what did I say? 24 more? That looks to be 24 more. So that's not going to work. But we saved 10G. Not worth it. Audio is great. Good ka-chunk action. It's really the most important thing. I think a big thing that this Zachtronics game has over the other ones is like, just look how good this looks. Everything's all shiny and crisp. It's beautiful. Alright, so I think we're not going to beat this one. This is, I'm not going to say it, but I'll say that's a tricky one to beat. What I think I'm going to do, although I've been dreading it, is my nemesis. Universal compound, the worst puzzle in the game. Not to be confused with universal solvent. How long did it take me to get through the campaign? That's a good question. So I kind of went through it twice because I started playing on my laptop over, I think, like the Christmas break in 2019. And I think I beat it then. So like, you know, a week of casual play. And I don't think I had Steam solves enabled, so I then had to beat it again when I moved over to my desktop. Alright, I've already made one called Start from Scratch. We're going to name this one Start from Scratcher. So why does this puzzle suck? This is why. You only get one salt atom to make all of this stuff. And so you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then this needs 4. So 16 total salt atoms, which means you got to pull this 16 times. So normally I like to go at a brisk or at a leisurely pace. You know, pull like once every, 10 cycles maybe. This you got to be pulling every 2, which turns it more into a cycle solve or a rate solve. And rate is, it's kind of my wheelhouse, but cycle certainly is not. But the fact that you have to do animismus with it, the worst glyph in the game, at least there's no metal. Worked on the one from the previous stream. You mean the viscillary anesthetic? No, I think I hit a dead end with that one. So, one thing that I always try to do in this puzzle is use a hex arm, and I've never made it work. Well, that's not true. Let's look at how I did make it work. So I actually have the sum 4 record for this puzzle, unless it's been beaten without me knowing, but it's this guy. And I can't believe this isn't the sum record, because I think it's pretty good. So we make these things. This guy's doing the quintessence here. Let's go slow motion. Okay, so what do we got here? This is the hex arm that's going to be doing most of the work, grabbing the stuff, but this little arm 2 here is helping him out. We're not going to be pulling at a perfect every other cycle, but we're going to try to get as close to that as possible. You can see this tape loop is enormous. This arm shares a track with this big 5 arm, which is, I would say, a hallmark of my sum style. I love to have 2 arms of different sizes on the same track loop. That you can do it's so versatile. And we'll see why here. So this arm is doing most everything on the animismus. You can see he can hit 3 of the animismus glyphs here. The only one he can't hit is this one, but this guy can. So he's going to handle that. I don't know why my arms are male, but I guess they are. This guy is going to handle these 2. He can hit this one, and this one, and the other 2 can be hit by this guy. Alright. Now, that's as far as I know how this works. So let's find out together. Alright, so we're making the quintessence first. Boom. It's procced. And here's another annoying thing about this puzzle. You kind of have to make the quintessence first, because it's so easy once you have the core to put that on a bonder and start pivoting it to get everything going. If you're doing the other stuff first, then it's kind of like, what do I do with it until I get the quintessence in place? So, but on the other hand, the quintessence is the longest thing to make. I have to duplicate 4 atoms, let it proc, grab it, move it into position. Whereas I could be doing all sorts of other stuff in the meantime. So you see, I'm doing the other slow thing, the animismus, at the same time. I don't want to go too fast and start getting my other cardinal atoms out too early, because then where do I put them? Okay, so the animismus procs first, and we move it into this position. And I think this is where I have to wait with arm 3. Oh, never mind. No, it goes right away. Arm 5 grabbed the quintessence, which was moved up by arm 4. We're down here now. And now we can start attaching little arms. And you're going to see it makes wrong bonds. So the fire does have a straight bond like this, right here. But this Moore's arm does not. So I'm going to have to use this debonder later to debond that. And because he's on this track loop, he can sneakily, while he's waiting for this other arm to come into position, he sneakily gets these 2 bonds here, which is really nice. And then a sneaky little debond while we're waiting for the others. Move back into position, which is also key, because if this arm were to swing down right here, you'd have a collision. So he needed to do this little lateral move anyway. So the fact that we're getting a debond in that we need as well is kind of like a freebie. Then we get the other 2 remaining bonds back down, debond, and we're good to go. So this is only sum 4. So what does the actual sum record look like? Well, let's see. I think I have it here. Net deck. Nope, that's a copy. Here we go. So the user Zorflax made this one, another sum master. And look at how crazy this is. But let's see. Oh, that doesn't even look like that many more instructions. So because mine loses sum to this, means that I must have done better with instructions. Does this even work? This looks incomplete. Okay, no, it works. No, it doesn't. Okay, so why not? There's no way I'm going to be able to debug this, but I guess I didn't get it. I either tinkered with it and forgot to put it back. Okay, great question. What's sum 4 versus normal sum? It's sum, so area, or cost cycles area is sum, and then sum 4 is cost cycles area and instructions, which is everything down here. Each little symbol adds 1, and these symbols, which expand out into others, that you count the full thing. So this would be 3 here. The nice thing about sum 4, it doesn't always produce more elegant solutions, but I would say it usually does, because with some you can do cheeky things like code out all 6 products, and because, oh well, I can sneak out the last output, you know, a cycle earlier if I'm not worried about colliding with the next product that I'm building. So you'll see a lot of sums that go on for the whole tape loop, and then every 6th product basically is a little bit different, which, you know, Opus Magnum is a game about looping machines, so there is a sort of elegance to just having everything loop nicely, which Sum 4 definitely does. There are some scenarios where Sum 4 still gets away with cheeky stuff. I'll show you one example. So Electrum separation, here we go, Sum 4. I don't know if this is actually the current record, but it's good enough as an example. So this is a weird one. Let's just talk about this puzzle first. So you got this big guy. Usually you have small inputs and you're making a big guy. This one's kind of the reverse. You got a big guy and you're making this tiny little output here, and then 2 chains. This is like probably the weirdest puzzle in the game. So what we're doing is we're debonding. So we've got now here, you know, here's the product that's going here, and here's the 2 pieces that are going on the chains. But now the way chains validate is, if we were doing this legit, by now our product count would be much higher, because it would see, oh, you're starting to build out the chain. What would this be? This is like 4 per segment, maybe 3. It's 3 per segment. So it would say, oh, you've built another product, and add 1 for each chain. But because there's this bond here, it's saying, wait a second, this isn't a valid chain. You've got too much extra stuff. This is a big molecule. It's not a chain. The validation for them is indeed very confusing. But the way we get around this here is you'll notice this arm 5. What's this arm 5 doing? It doesn't even have any instructions here. What's going on? But this is actually super important. Wait for it. Boom. So arm 5, if we scroll this way, here he is. This is all he does. And it's only to get that final... Well, let's play it watching him. He's just waiting patiently. Alright, we'll fast forward. Until now. And now he's gonna move forward, grab it, and move it onto this debonder right here. Which now that this bond is broken, it's like, oh, okay. You've completed the chains. You've completed 2 of them. Great job. But now what's going to happen? Failure. So even though we made Sum 4 specifically to be a more looping-friendly metric, the community finds a way. Life finds a way. If it saves points, we're going to do it. And there's always stuff like, to show the old Visualary record. God, scrolling through my solutions is... Really, I should be deleting old solutions more often, but who's got time for that? So I don't know. This is obviously not... In fact, let's go back. Here, I have one that's not looping. Or that is looping. I don't know what I'm thinking when I name these files. I'm sure I have a 404 somewhere. Anyway, 406 is good enough. So the way I chose to solve this one is to have one salt waste with every output pair. So once you're done with 6, there's nothing else you can do. It's game over. But if Zach was feeling devious, he would have asked for 7 products instead of the usual 6. Or I guess if RPO was feeling devious, he's the creator of this puzzle. But anyways, let's get back to the worst puzzle in the world. Universal compound. Start from scratcher. Alright, so I'm not going to use a hex arm this time. What I want to do is use 2 big boys. And what do I want to do with them? I want to put the Van Berlo right here. I want to put a duplicator right here. So these guys are going to grab everything. These guys are going to deliver all the salt is going to go here. From here, we're going to get Animismus with one arm doing like this. What I like to do is I like to lay out all the arms in approximately how I think they're going to be used without actually using them yet. I wonder if I can get away with this. If I do this, put him here, then every time I swing this arm, I have to rotate Animismus. What film school did I attend? I went to Ryerson University in Toronto. It has since been renamed the Toronto Metropolitan University. But when I was there, it was Ryerson. So this would be nice if I could put this guy here, because then I can more easily steal stuff away from this glyph. But it's a question of, am I going to be able to rotate this every time? They did good. I don't know that they did. I kind of learned editing all on my own. I guess there's kind of like an intangible idea of, you know, artistic growth that something like an art school infers upon you. So I guess there's value there. I was pretty pretentious before I went to art school though, so who knows. So with this one, this is my favorite kind of configuration for Animismus, because you get one arm, it moves once to put it there, it moves again, slides to put it there. It's beautiful. Now, what do we do with all this? So we need to access 2 things. We need to access a bonder from here, and we need to access the Animismus, or not Animismus, whatever you call this guy, quintessence. So, man, it really does suck. I wonder if I could put Animismus, instead of grabbing it here, this is better actually. Boom, we're gonna grab it straight from the source, and that frees up some space. Now, can I do a hex arm here? A hex arm can talk to all 3 of these things, which is nice. Do I put the bonder here? Then I can slide out. That's not too bad. You know what? I bet I'm gonna want to track here. I just have a feeling I'm gonna need that. I gotta remember I have to talk into the mic. I'm like leaning back. Doesn't work. Okay, so let's see here. I will be shocked if we actually make a product before any reasonable amount of time has elapsed. So let's put this back. Let's assume we're going to be doing it like this. The question is now, how are we going to talk to these two? So this guy could actually, instead of doing like this, we could do this, and now he can get this guy and he can get this guy, and that's not bad. That's actually very nice. Okay, let's just do that first part and see how it works. So we've got 1, 2, let's move 5 up to number 3. And Van Berlo is always number 1. Okay, so we're gonna grab, we're gonna move and release. No, we're not. You're gonna do that a bit later. You're going first, which means you get up promoted in the hierarchy. You're gonna grab and rotate twice, and then we're gonna do a plus or minus. I guess it doesn't matter. And then, oh, remember I said this had to turn every time? Yeah. We're not even gonna worry about what it's turning the stuff into. We're just worrying about the geometry right now. How do you know when it's a good idea to use multi-arms? They are good in basically when you want one arm to do more than one thing, because they can grab multiple things at the same time. They're also good for speed because you never have to reset a multi-arm. So like say I had the atom up here and I want to move it down here, but because of my programming, like I need him to return, but there's not enough time, I can just, go again. They reset automatically. The problem with them is you get bad grabs. Like I'll be grabbing something up here and accidentally also grabbing, stuff down here, which is not good. But, so this needs to turn right here, and then you're gonna go again. 1, 2, 3, minus. And meanwhile, this guy's gonna go there. You're gonna grab 1 salt. Then you're gonna go again. God, that's perfect if it works out, but I don't think it's gonna work out. But it might. Let's see. Then you're gonna go, and then you're gonna minus. All right, this is actually looking great if it works, which it won't. Of course it won't. What was I thinking? And there is no way to solve this problem. So this layout is trash. No, it's not. I just can't use this arm, which is too bad because that was actually looking real nice. What is it? All right, let's get rid of this. Why don't we just do this? Then this can do this. All right, so this guy's gonna do these two, and this guy's gonna do these two. That. No, I'm a minus guy. There we go. Now this is already looking way too slow, but we can get away with a little bit of slowness. so let's move back. And we're going to change things up. We're starting from scratch. For sanity's sake, we're just going to do this, and we're going to forget about rotating. Okay, so who's going first? I guess it doesn't really matter. So minus minus, and then you get the same thing. And they both get the same thing, except only one minus. So now we're going to have 4 fire atoms here, which I can... Nope. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Now we can code out the Berlo, now that we know that the geometry works. If I really wanted to get expensive, I could make this a loop and put other arms on it. Wow, that would be very expensive though. But this is our inexpensive puzzle. We're going to try it slow first, because slower is easy to program, and easy to program means I don't go insane. But I'm already seeing something cool here, where I can grab from here. Once we start doing the main wheel bonding, I just delete you. I can grab both from here, and I can also grab this. They're both in a nice line. I may not need to do that, but it's nice to have the option. This is a universal compound, not to be confused with universal solvent. Universal solvent is lovely. Universal compound is torture. Okay. Alright, I said I was going to program Van Berlo, and since we're doing that, let's see if we can do it like this. Doesn't even really save me any area though, so let's not do that. So we want to go counterclockwise. So boop. One there. 2 there. One there. And then 2 there. All right. And it still works. Perfect. Now while they're doing that, we're going to have this guy grabbing the animismus. It doesn't quite work. It's a little bit annoying. I could make them wait a cycle, or they'd have to wait. Let's see. I'd have to wait 2 cycles, which is not ideal. Hopefully this guy's tape loop isn't full. You're right, it actually does save area. You are right. And I think I can get away with if I just start it. Let's see. Do it like this, and then we're going to move these down this way. Let's see if this works. Perfect. Okay, now we're hitting that, but that's fine. How do we get the animismus over here is another question altogether. A track loop is kind of looking good. anyways, let's figure out what we're gonna do with the animismus, or with this guy. In fact, I'm gonna just disconnect the animismus from the pipeline, just so we can focus on this first. So once this is made, which will be on this cycle, do I want him to grab it? I think so. Let's do 2 arms. One thing to be wary of if you're solving for sum is optimizing too early. Like, I think I can get away with maybe one arm doing both of these jobs, but that'll become evident later on, and there's no point trying to hyper optimize something when you're not even sure if it works. So this is going to go down. Okay, and now you can grab these. Okay, now we have to code out a bit more, because now we're grabbing a little bit faster. So 2 is grabbing like that, 1's grabbing like that. But it's going to be a little bit too fast. However, of course, arm 2 can do it by himself. So we're going to go like that. And then arm 6 is going to grab off of you like this. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Of course we gotta do that. Perfect. Except it's not the right color. We're not even gonna worry about color right now. Alright, so then 5 is gonna pivot. See if I can get away with moving this a bit earlier. No, I can't. This will look nice. Boom. And we're just going to do one at a time. Let's see, red, green, they would be on opposite. Done like that. Yeah, everybody who makes a puzzle with Van Berlo wheel seems hell-bent on making Van Berlo as annoying to use as possible. It's never like, oh, the green and red are next to each other on Van Berlo. Well, guess what? They're not. At least they're somewhat in the right order. Red, green. Oh no, they're not even. Wait, yes, they are. They are in the right order. Okay, so now we can do this one more time. And then one more time here. And one more time here. So now arm 6 is feeling like it doesn't have a lot to do. But we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise us. Also, arm 4 is kind of doing nothing. Maybe it's time to plug. Right. You're always getting mad at me for not spinning you. Remember I said I should just be sane and not worry about it? To add these. Okay. So now we've got those in place. And wait a second, did we actually get it right? No. These would be in the wrong. It is the wrong chirality, isn't it? But we can fix that by just pivoting the other way, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Perfect. All right. All right, that was actually easier than I thought it would be. If it's nicer, CrazyBot, it's barely nicer. All right, I think it's now time to reintroduce our quote-unquote friend. But we have to figure out how we're going to actually use him. Because we can do this. Oh, it's just terrible. There's no way. The good thing is that Arm 4 has a lot of... It's kind of like he's doing nothing else. Which means that we can use the extra time that he has to make himself more useful. So maybe instead of proccing Animismus here, he's going to swing down and proc like here maybe. We can do that. Let's see. Basically the question is, where do I want Animismus? And the question is nowhere. The answer is here would actually be good. But that's so far away. This is one of the annoying things of Animismus, is there's like not a lot of configurations where you can get both the Vitae and the Mors talking to the same bonder. So like right here would work. You could have like a small arm here and then a medium arm here. But that's not going to work here. I could put it down here, maybe. It would share track with this, which is nice. No, I can't. If it was a long arm, it would work. Which is fine. Then if we do this, we can get that. But we still have no way to get this one. You don't think Zach thought that this much? Yeah, I mean, a lot of ways you want to make things cumbersome, like kind of on purpose. There needs to be friction. You don't want to make everything too easy to use. Because what I don't want to do is have like 2 arms and then not only 2 arms, but one arm's got to be on track. Like, that's brutal. But also, you know, 1 arm on 2 track isn't much better. I guess I call this 2 track when technically it's 3. So that could do that. Could go and do that. You know, it might. Let's see how it works. We'll call this a band-aid solution. But now, okay, so you're gonna go like this, and his programming is gonna be way trickier now. No. Plus, down, down, down. Now he went from having not enough to do to having too much to do. Release plus. This is why people don't like the return instruction. I still love it. God, look at all that area. That's brutal. Can I actually swing it the other way? No way. No, of course it doesn't work. Alright, that's way too much area. That's not gonna work. But this could still work. I could get it down there. And then this guy with an extra track now is basically a piston, which is unfortunate. But he could help out. So let's try that. Grab 3 with a minus, let go, and a plus. Wait, can I do this? No. Damn. But maybe I can earlier. No. No, I cannot ever. Man, that would be sweet if I could. Oh well, we're going the other way. We can shave that area later. And grab. Same thing. Minus. And let's just hope it works. Come on. Minus. This guy never goes down again. That's not good. I think what we have to do is move this guy forward. So he's now the first to grab. But now he's got to grab here, and I think it's still not going to work because you don't go. All right. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to grab way early, right here. Oh, nothing works. How can I do this? Well, I think we're back to square one. Let's go back the way we were, because now you can only add so many band-aids. You know what? Actually, this looks pretty good. If you go like this, then maybe this? Is this crazy? Yeah, the sum for this puzzle is extremely wonky, and I think the only reason it hasn't been beaten is because it's so annoying. Alright, I think this is going to work. Exactly. The input is really, it's brutal. You're essentially turning it into an RG puzzle, or for people who don't know what that means, it's like a full throughput with a cost secondary. So pulling inputs as fast as possible, and then minimizing cost, which is a metric I enjoy, but not this time. So because we've changed, we can now go back to how we were. Doesn't matter if stuff starts, you know, way far away from the actual start of the tape loop once you hit play. Okay, I guess I'm lying. It's because ARM4 has no instructions. Once I give him instructions, now it's gonna start right as the tape loop starts. Okay, so you're gonna go dot dot return, and then oops, and then the same thing. Meanwhile, you're gonna start here. You're going to grab and do a plus plus. Let go, and then do a, I guess, a minus. Let's move this a little closer. Okay, all right. Guess we gotta wait one. Then you're gonna grab and then do a plus plus and swing around all 3 times. How is that possible? RG has worse. Oh, worse sum. So the area is big then, right? I don't actually know what RG looks like for this puzzle. Okay, so we actually have to do mores first. So we're not gonna go. We're gonna go plus. Then just grab right away. Okay, so we can go with that, and we've already solved 3 minus minus, grab, plus plus, swing around again, see where we're at. Ah, see, it's too slow. I wonder if the solution is to, since I have a track loop already, just put everything on the track loop. Yeah, we're not fully concerned about order, unless you're talking at a sort of larger scale. But actually, things are. Oh yeah, you're right. This doesn't matter at all because you can always flip this around, and now it'll be good. The curse of too many games. I know it too well. So, all right, we have to rearrange some things. So if this was a longer arm, it could still reach from here. And it can also kind of help out. It's actually pretty good. I'm actually liking that a lot. So let's say goodbye to arm 4. And if I was to proc animismus this way, I could just drag it down like this. It goes right here. Just like this. It's so easy. But the problem with that is I can grab it here. I gotta go like a long way around to access this bonder. And I have no way to get this one. And doing a track like this, that's crazy. But maybe it's good. What if we get rid of this? Can I now talk to all of this? What if... Is this insane? I can talk to this, 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 this. Can't get the middle, but that's okay. Can't get this. How do I... Here? Here? No. I mean, it looks pretty good. All I gotta do is figure out how to get this. Throw track of the problem? It's exactly. And you know what? Since we're throwing track at the problem, might as well throw one more, right? How much is this track now? This is a 35G piece of track. That's almost as much as a piston. And if I use a piston in this solve, Zorflax will personally hunt me down and revoke my sum status. But let's just see if it even works. I don't like that. This one's okay. Sort of. To get here. Once you get in dealing with track loops, it gets crazy. Because now I gotta put this guy down here. Right? You know what? Here's one thing you gotta do. You copy. And you branch the build. Insane loop. And we're just gonna revert this back the way it was, just so I can reference when times were simpler. Let's see, does this work? Luckily, the undo for this game is very generous. I've never had it stop undoing. Alright, we're gonna wait till we actually just get rid of arm 7. Thanks a lot, Twister9. I couldn't be happier with everyone's response to that video. Way exceeded my expectations. Alright, this is starting to take too long. Here we go. Let's see, make sure this works. Alright. We're just gonna do this and call it a day. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so that's like branch 1. And now we can work on branch 2. Yep, may spark. I am trying for a record, but I'm not confident at all that that this one is beatable. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of arm 3, or rather, we're gonna move him down here, and things are gonna get crazy. I'm gonna promote arm 6 to become the new arm 4. Delete all of this. It's not gonna work, and kinda we have to delete everything. We're starting over. Mad Master. Your AI bot can beat 20 records a day, but can it record a GIF? That's my question. Or can it just record blinking lights? So first is going to be arm 2. Alright, let's actually move this over here. Now, while he's going down, you're going to move into position. See, so now the problem is, instead of grabbing every 2, we're going to be grabbing every 3, which is really going to add up. But who knows? Nope. You need to go way down. You're coming up. Got to do the whole loop just to get this guy, but that's fine. Then 2 can finally let go. Do one more, do this, then one more, and then we're grabbing again. Yeah, there's been some really annoying happenings on the leaderboard where someone is using some sort of AI agent to find little micro improvements to records, and some of the solutions it's creating are invalid, but are kind of like, I guess, tricking the solver that they work. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but it's being a big pain in the butt. We're not going to worry about the colors yet. So how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one was going to be 4. And then this one is going to do the same thing, because it's going to get promoted. It's now a main arm. People will optimize the fun out of anything. It happens in this very community, even without AI. Just look into area apostrophe, whatever that means, or area apostrophe apostrophe. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what it means, but people have thought long and hard about it and decided it's very important that the game records that. Alright, we're doing the sanity thing again. It's gonna move that. Especially because it doesn't save us any area anymore. Like, the community did, on its own, have a little auto solver. It wasn't a tournament, like event, I guess. It was run by Panic. And, you know, the auto solvers weren't great, I think was the upshot of them. Because you can make a solver that will solve any puzzle. Basically, as far as I know, the way they work is they just break the inputs down into like their base components and then kind of build one atom at a time. And those are kind of easy to program, or quote unquote easy. But getting something that creates a good solution is very difficult. What is more plausible, and what this you know, sort of bad actor on the leaderboard right now is doing, is taking existing solves and kind of like, you know, jiggling them, moving, you know, and it's doing, you know, thousands or millions of these. I don't know exactly how many, but little like micro adjustments, and just seeing, like, it's basically a shotgun approach, seeing what little adjustments, oh, this little moving a glyph over one saves, you know, a cycle or two. I don't know. Changing this instruction counterclockwise to clockwise. And, you know, there's a good actor on the leaderboard that is used, made by the user Grimmy, called Grimbot, and that's exactly what it does. That, I would say, is not being a bad actor. What the problem that's happening right now on the leaderboard is it's submitting solves that are invalid, A, because it's deleting conduits from cabinet puzzles. I can show you what I mean. So there's these kind of area constrained puzzles. I guess this one's fine. So they come in these really fancy little cabinets, but they have an extra area constraint. You have to work with this small number of hexes, and they have these conduits that you can move around and pass atoms one to another. But you can't delete them. If I try to delete them, it doesn't work. Now, area is not tracked the way it is on a free space puzzle. Instead, you have cost cycles and instructions that you're trying to minimize. But some puzzles, like, let's go to rat poison, maybe? No. Eye drops? Nope. I'll find one. I know for sure there's one in the journal with what I'm talking about. This one. No, it's not this one. Anyway, there are puzzles that don't use all of the chambers. You'll have, you know, like one big one and two small ones, and one of the small ones won't be used. But it'll still have a conduit in it that you cannot delete. So what this bad actor is doing is it's finding those, and it's somehow deleting the conduit, because it's not even working in Opus Magnum. It's just like using directly editing the solution files. And so it deletes the conduit and then says, oh, look, I saved one area because the conduit is gone in the chamber that's not used. And even though area is not tracked here, it is technically tracked in the solution files. So it is technically an improvement. So the leaderboard accepts it, But if you tried to load it in the game, I don't know if it would crash, but it would say not acceptable. One thing that I think other people have said this too. I'm kind of like anti bots. I think, as you know, it's a genie that you can't put back in the bottle. Once you have something, even if it just helps a little bit, it's like, well, now that's just an extra step that we have to do every time we make a solution, you know, which would be annoying. I like to keep it in, you know, the meat space. Because let's take like an area puzzle. I'm going to go to, let's say, Soothing Solve is a good example. Is this one? Yeah, okay. So this is an area solve. So you got one little piston on track. And this one was even extra cracked because its instructions was the secondary, but regardless. We could say maybe a computer program couldn't come up with this area. Or with this layout. Sorry. It maybe can't come up with this layout, but maybe I can come up with the layout, and then I can tell the computer to program the tape for me. So that you can give a program, say, you know, this solution I know works. I've kind of run it through in my head. So make a solution for it using this layout, rather than it iterating on layouts over and over and over again. Is there any moderation for this game? It's just like kind of a few people, you know, brave souls on the Discord, kind of trying to keep things in order. God bless them. Yeah, Zach tracks top percentile, which is not, it's rarely even min. If I go to like voltaic coil, top percentile 50, okay, sure. I'm 2 ahead of top percentile and 7 ahead of top percentile for area. See you, Mad Master. I'm not sure the stream is going to go on much longer, but I would... God, it'd be great if we could just finish the solution, but I don't think it's going to happen. Can you give up on the dual output sum solve? What do you mean? Forgotten to turn on. Yeah, overlap is I won't get into overlap because I've actually never done it myself. Oh, hey, look, here's a puzzle that I made, and I think it's gonna be in the new update when the DLC comes. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly these atoms. You know, you could change. Fire has to stay, but these metals could be switched with anything, as long as it's the same steps up and down. I assume it'd be the same. But anyways, that's a little spoiler for you. Oh yeah, yes, to Visilary. Visilary, I think, is there's kind of, you know, we're trying to have fun here, but there's really no chance of breaking a sum record on a stream like this. I'm doing the best I can, but if I was actually trying to beat records, I would be sitting in silence and just staring at a layout like just looking at this for 20 minutes and then maybe moving this around. No, never mind. Go back to staring. Play it. Yeah, no. Doesn't make for good content is what I'm saying. But you know, I think we made a little bit of headway with this. Because let's say this works. No, this looks terrible. What are we at? We're at 235. Let's rough out what it would cost to finish this puzzle. So if we're making this, let's say somehow all these arms they don't bump into each other, and they're all able to get everything nice and connected. We're still gonna need a debonder, and we're gonna need at least a track here. We won't need arm 6 anymore, actually, because that's all gonna take place here. Although, if I'm being real, we would need arm 6. But let's pretend we don't. So the fact that it's grabbing every 3 might just be a deal breaker. Alright, so this bonds. It's gonna have to bond. It's gonna need another track like this to create this outer bond. And then come down here to debond these bad bonds that'll be made. And then when it's done, we can maybe move up and swing. Nope, I'm gonna have to swing from here like this. And okay, so that's gonna be 240. Let's just for see roughly how much area we're gonna need. 68, 240. What does my sum 4 solved have? 245, so a little bit 5G more expensive. And more area. Oh, because I'm forgetting that it's gonna take, I'm not swinging just the arm, I gotta swing the whole product as well. So roughly the same. So it would need to be a lot faster, but this is doing every, well, not really. Let's see, how often does it grab? Grab, 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 then we have a pause, then another grab, then another pause, grab. Okay, now we're on track. So we got 3. Oh no, wait, this is grabbing. So, alright, this actually is pretty slow. So maybe we are cooking. Hi to any newcomers. I'm not sure how much longer the stream's gonna be, but happy you're here at the end game. Okay, you know what? It's actually, this actually gives me hope. Maybe this is cooking. The question would be, is 3 arms enough? Let's see. Do. No, we need at least 1 more. And this is going to go to 3. This is going to go to 2. You're going to go 3. We're just going to try to get it roughed in place. No? All right. Too early, too early. No, too late, too late. And you're way too early too. Okay, so this is the cadence we have. We have grab, 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 grab. So it works perfectly with forearms. But now we're at 260. The other solve was 240. So we have to make up that in cycles or area. And the area looks like it's going to be roughly the same. But, you know, let's see. Okay. No, you're going too far. Arm 4. Okay. Now that we've done that, we can put the colors correctly. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. This is used to the old cadence, so I think I can eyeball it like that. Nope. And you let go now. Okay. Beautiful. This is why I hate track loops, man. Track loops are the worst. Two arms on a track loop, manageable. 4 arms on a track loop, nightmare. So not only are these, well, all right, it might work. Because now we got to do animismus. Six is back on duty. Who's bashing? 3 is bashing into 2. Play nice. Okay. Now we're doing animismus. I think so. But while we're doing animismus, I want to be doing the cardinals. God, it does save me one area to move this guy right here. I haven't played Kaizen. That's not true. I played the demo, and I kind of felt that it wasn't for me. But I know it kind of like superficially looks like Opus Magnum. But I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. How are you enjoying it? you're going to grab and go plus. It's going to be our first plus, which means it's going to cause all sorts of collisions. Well, maybe not. And then you're going to let go and go minus again. No, you're not. You're going to keep going plus plus. And instead, arm 5 is going to be the one that grabs next. Okay, everybody's got to get out of the way. Then arm 5 grabs and does a plus. And then let's go, and then you let go, and we should have our animismus. Nope, we need one more plus. That's not a plus. Alright. We got there. Alright, well that's all our pieces. Question, as a person who doesn't know the mechanics of the game, but if swinging takes a lot of area, what if you just push with a piston? So the problem is, yes, swinging takes a lot of area, but pistons cost twice as much. So piston costs 40 versus an arm costing 20. So even if an arm swings and takes up an additional, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can say maybe this is a 33 sum maneuver. A piston, it can only move one, when it's extending and retracting, it can only move one space at a time. So you're not covering as much distance, which, you know, may not be relevant, but can be. And it costs 40. Plus, since we included the area here, let's say this is 44 versus a 33. So it's like you're adding an additional 11 sum. Track is better, because now this is 30. And so that's why we are using lots of track here. But in terms of like pure efficiency, an arm on its own, you can't beat it. If I see a solve and it's just got one tiny little arm that's just going back and forth doing its thing over and over again, I'm like, that's a good solve. Yeah, and if you use pistons, Zorflax is going to get angry at you. There is, as far as I know, 2 sum records that have pistons in them. Neither of them are official puzzles. One is a, I think it was a speed solve challenge that the community did. And so it hasn't really been explored that much, but I think Zorflax did try to get rid of the piston there, and it didn't work. So there's one. And then the second puzzle that has a piston as its sum record is a puzzle that Zorflax himself designed, which I think is hilarious. Self-professed hater of pistons. Alright, well now we've got the animismus in place. is the bad news. We actually have to use it. So let's see if we can get everything in place. God, not really. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change things slightly. So this job is going to this arm instead. Before, yeah. And so we're gonna go back. Nope. Okay, that's good. So because it had extra room to move back, it can do the same timing as the previous arm. But why isn't this working? Arm 6. Wait, no, arm 5. Why aren't you plussing? Okay, grab. Oh, look at this. Look at how beautiful that is. Everything is ready to go. If this layout works, which I'm almost certain it doesn't, the sauce is going to be, what's the ordering for attaching this? Like, should I even be doing the animismus now, or should I get on, you know, the thingies, the cardinal elements? Maybe, cause, you know, it could be that, oh, the optimal way to do it is to put on fire and water, then do animismus, and then do, or maybe I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know. It's kind of impossible to say what the easiest way to do things is. Especially when you got all these arms on this track. You got a Burlow up here. This guy's chilling. This is... He's the only guy who's not giving me a headache. But I think I'm going to call it there. There's no way we're going to figure this out in one night. But keep an eye on the channel. Maybe I'll try again another night. Maybe I'll do some staring at this layout while eating my my sandwich tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for joining the stream. It's my second stream ever. Hopefully I'm not too rusty. Oh, now I clicked something. God, what a boomer mistake. What did I click? Get out of here. Alright. What do we got? 5 people here? Sounds about right. Alright, thank you for sticking it out. See you in the next stream.